YouTube, what's going on? Let's get this back into the video. And listen, today we're going to be talking about the absolute scariest young duo in the league. Okay? Now, before we get into that, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment down below on what you want to see next, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're not missing any of these NBA uploads, okay? Now, this duo that I'm speaking of is Tyrese Haliburton and Bennedict Mathurin, okay, of the Indiana Pacers. And these guys are looking scary. So let me just give you the counting stats right quick. On the season so far, Tyrese Haliburton's averaging 22, 5, and 10. Okay? He's averaging a double-double, close to a double, with 9.5 assists, but we round up around here, okay? And he's shooting crazy efficient, almost 50-40-90. He's shooting 45% from three with that slow jump shot he has, 95% from the line, 49% from the field, so almost that 50-40-90 threshold. An effective field goal percentage of 58%, and he's looking really good, man. I mean, he's also playing okay defense, right? I mean, he's never been a guy that's going to be, you know, the absolute best on the defensive side of the ball, right? But he's still going to give you, he's lanky, you know what I'm saying? So he's giving you almost 2 steals a game. He's a guy that's gets in the passing lane well and makes good reads. And then Bennedict Mathurin, man, he's one I want to focus on a little bit more because he's a bit more of a surprise to a lot of people, not as much to me because I was really high on him coming out of the draft, right? I don't really watch college basketball, but the way he was talking about himself, I mean, he said stuff like, you know, he's LeBron's gonna show me he's better than me and stuff like that. So he seems like a really confident guy. And some people thought he was just talking, but I was like, I like that confidence. Let's really see it. And we've seen it so far. I mean, this is a guy who's averaging 20 as a rookie right now. It's not like he was the number 1 pick. He's honestly, in my opinion, might be leading the league, or might be leading for Rookie of the Year, right? You know, Paolo's up there. Paolo's been playing incredibly as well. But Bennedict Mathurin, man, has that surprise in that narrative. I can see him winning this award, right? I mean, he's averaging 20 on, as a rookie, crazy good efficiency too. I mean, he's shooting 46% from the field, which isn't the best, but he's shooting 43% from 3 and close to 90% from the free throw line, right? Now, I know it's a small sample size. It's only 8 games. But he's looked very, very impressive. And, I mean, he was the 6th pick, so, you know, he still expected a lot out of him, but he was a big surprise to a lot of people, and I'm loving this duo, man. I mean, Bennedict Mathurin, he's a scrappy wing. You know, he's like 6'6". He's really aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. I really like what he brings to the table, and this is a guy I could see being an All-NBA player one day because he has the build in that modern NBA build and role where he could really use his athleticism, strength, build, mixed with his shot-making ability, and he can. The only thing I can really see I mean, of course he's a rookie, he's allowed to improve on, right? But his playmaking's not fully there yet. But this is not a guy you're asking to do a lot of the playmaking anyway. When you have Tyrese Haliburton on the team, and that's why I think this could be a crazy wing duo, or guard/wing duo, because Tyrese Haliburton, he's only an inch taller than Tyrese, but Tyrese he's shown he can really handle the offense. I mean, he's averaging, like I said, he's averaging 20 and 10, and I mean that's like close to the Trae Young numbers, right? 10 assists a game is insane, and you know, Bennedict Mathurin is like that go-to wing scorer right now, and I love him, man. I mean, 8 games in, of course he's going to end up probably hitting a slump, right? All rookies do. He's going to slow down eventually, but this is a guy I could see having a jump next season, averaging like 24, 25 a game, right? He has that build. He reminds me of like not to the extent of Paul George, and of course, you know, he's Pacers, so it goes hand in hand, but I can see a little bit of that Paul George on where he's like scrappy on defense, has good shot making ability. He's not the best playmaker, but that's something you can develop. Playmaking is one of those things where it's going to develop over time in the league because you have to get used to the pace and the speed of the game. And yeah, man, I love this dude. And I think that they have a lot they can really build off of, right? It's just the Pacers' young core in general because it's a team, they're solid right now. Let me looking at the standings. They are. Let me pull it up right quick. They've won some games. I mean, just the other night, Bennedict Mathurin dropped 30 plus points on the Nets, right? So they're solid. They're 11 here. They're 3-5, but that's not terrible, right? For them and their talent they have, that's not terrible. They also have guys like Chris Duarte, who's he's an old man at this point for NBA standards, but he's in his 2nd year. He's looked a little sketchy to start the season, but he's coming around. And yeah, man. I mean, speaking of that game against the Nets, I want to pull up Bennedict Mathurin's game log against the Nets right quick. because I'm pretty positive it was the Nets that game. It was. I mean, he dropped. Where is it at? Where's his game log? I know it was 30. Yeah, against the Nets. Just 2 games ago, right? 32 points. Only two assists. Not his defensive stats don't pop, right? It's not like he's averaging a ton of steals, a ton of blocks, or anything like that. But he can hold his own on the defensive side of the ball. It's just those other stats you want to see him improve on, but that will over time as his uses go up and his minutes go up. And this kid can shoot the ball too, right? I mean, 6 for 9 from 3 in that game against the Nets. I mean, this is a really, really good basketball player, right? And I say all that to say, what makes this duo so scary is if they really hit the tank this season, and they can somehow get Victor Wembanyama too, that team's gonna end up winning a championship at some point, right? And I love it because Indiana is a very, very good basketball city. Not a big market. They don't get a ton of stars, but they have something building here right now. And, you know, I assume eventually, you know, they're going to get to those lower, like one of those lower 3 seeds in the East, right? The teams below them right now, the Nets, Heat, Pistons, and Magic. Magic will probably stay down there. Pistons, I want to see get up because I had them making the play-in. But I would assume the Nets and the Heat are eventually going to be above them. So I can see them dropping to that 14th or 13th seed, and that's great for them because that gives them that chance at Victor Wembanyama. If they can get a really, really good big, because I know eventually Miles Turner's going to get traded. He was just talking on the Woj pod the other day about, you know, pretty much asking for the trade, right? So Indiana, they're going to end up trading Miles Turner. They're going to need that big. If they can get Victor, pair alongside Tyrese Haliburton, who's looking like one of the best playmakers in the league, and then Bennedict Mathurin is he's going to end up being, I think, one of the best one of the best just all around the wings in the league. You're building something right there, and it's not like that's all they have. They have a lot of other guys, right? I mean, guys like Isaiah Jackson, right? That the big out of I don't remember what school he went to, but he's solid. He's going to go up and get you some blocks. You got O'Shea Brissett, who's no scrub by any means. He's 24, so I don't know if he quite meets the timeline, but he's a really solid player. You still have Buddy Hield that you have to move. So the rest of the roster is much to be desired, right? Like Jalen Smith, he's looked okay. I was expecting a lot bigger things out of him this year, but you know it's not like he's a scrub by any means. He's averaging 12 and 9, close to a double-double, and shooting not the best from the field. That's one of the things that turns you off on him. But the rest of the roster must be desired. But you have these guys that you can get something out of, like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Everybody's been talking about them to the Lakers and other trades for them. You have stuff you're going to get out of them. You're going to get picks. And you're going to have a lot of money, too. That's the thing. Say next season, right, if they get one of those top picks, even if it's not Victor, if they just get one of the top picks in general, pair alongside Tyrese and Bennedict Mathurin with Chris Duarte and these other players. You get these guys, you get a top pick. And if I'm not mistaken, you're going to have a lot of money to go out and spend. Their only big time contracts right now are Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, right? And if they trade that for like a Russ, for example, and have that expiring deal, you got all that money to work with in the offseason. Do you maybe go after somebody, maybe sit on it and wait till another year of development? But this is a team in 3 years that could be contending, right? I believe. I think Tyrese Haliburton's a stud. I think he's a star. I think Bennedict Mathurin's going to be a star in this league. I think that's 2 All-Stars you already have. If you can somehow get Victor, who's supposed to be a generational talent, and then you have all this money to bring in either solid role players around them, another big-time player, things like that, you're building something. Now, it's going to be a lot tougher because it is Indiana. You're a small market, so it's going to be hard to attract these free agents. But you can also go get complimentary guys, good guys that can play their role, play some defense, 3-and-D guys for this team. Because that's really, you know, as you see, if you have 2 All-Stars right here, Tyrese Haliburton and Bennedict Mathurin, if they can both be All-Star level talents, that's enough. That's going to be enough to make the playoffs if you have a good complementary piece around them. Now, the thing with Indiana the one thing I do worry about is you want to be in a place where you're competing for a championship. You don't want to be mediocre and just a fringe playoff team, first round, second round team. Like in the past, that's why they blew it up recently and traded Sabonis. So if you want to go big, you're hoping that one of these guys is going to be a superstar talent, which I think Tyrese could be. I think Bennedict Mathurin could be. That's a big superstar and all-stars. Two very different things. But even if they're just all-stars and you can somehow get this generational talent in Victor Wembanyama, you're building something, right? And if you can get with that guy, right? If you get Victor Wembanyama, are guys not going to want to play with him? That's what I'm thinking, right? Because I know it's a small market. I know it's Indiana, but one, that's a great basketball city. I've been there and I've played there just in smaller things, like in big AAU tournaments, right? And it's some of the best basketball like environments I've ever been in. And that's just in the AAU standpoint. And I know, and they love their NBA teams. They love their colleges. It's huge over there. And I think if you get Victor Wembanyama, that's going to draw in talent. Especially also Tyrese being that guy who's going to give you 10 assists and another wing guy. If you're a good basketball team, you're going to draw in talent. And I like what they're building, man. Like I said, I think these two dudes could both be all-stars next season. I think Tyrese Haliburton can be an all-star this season. I think they could both be all-stars next season, and they can make the playoffs next season. But yeah, man, I like this team. I like what they got building. I like what their front office is doing. And y'all let me know what y'all think about them, man. Next video, I'm thinking about talking about the Raptors. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Peace.